can say confidently, with pretty much 100% certainty, that this one was not what I expected. Did not find I did not find enjoyment in it, but I think maybe there was a couple of things they could have taken a different route with. Essentially, what is We Have a Ghost? It's Casper meets The Ring. That's really what We Have a Ghost is. There's a friendly ghost in this house, and you have to revenge his death. That's The Ring. And the friendly ghost part is Casper. We Have a Ghost is essentially Casper meets The Ring. I'm going to say that 1,000 times over because that's all it really is. Now, does it work? I mean, I thought it did. You know, the one thing I think I would really change is maybe not having Anthony Mackie play the father, because it's really weird. I'm starting to find this thing where I can't see too many people who are part of the MCU outside of the MCU. Like, I'm a big fan of the movie Extraction with Chris Hemsworth. Still weird to see him not be Thor. Anthony Mackie right now is an MCU guy, and even thinking about who he was in 8 Mile, I don't think about that. I think about him now there. And even Scarlett Johansson, even though they kind of, you know, have thrown her in so many movies because she was the hot thing for 5 years, 6 years, she is still in some way, shape, or form more so MCU, and kind of is like a, what are you doing out of your realm? Go back into the MCU. Robert Downey Jr. is really tough because he was a great actor beforehand. He had some really horrible shit happen in his life, and now he's just the MCU kind of god. Chris Evans, another great example of who you could actually see outside, and it's not that big of a deal. And then you have somebody like Dave Harbour, who maybe some people can't see outside of Stranger Things, but I can totally see Dave Harbour outside of Stranger Things. I've seen him in The Equalizer, and he was great. I thought he was great in the Hellboy remake. I love David Harbour as an actor, so I like pretty much anything he does, which is where I kind of have to stop and go, he does really good in this film. And the concept of how you take being down on your luck and going viral and make it about this real life ghost, and how they sort of accept ghosts in a way, because you also got the character played by Tig Notaro, who is like a ghost hunter, and she's working for the government, and so they have to capture the ghost. It's really, really strange, but still entertaining. I still found a lot of entertainment about this film. What I did enjoy finding out is that it's actually based on a short story called Ernest, written by, I can't pronounce this guy's name, Geoff Mano. Geoff Mano? I don't know. I've never heard of him, and even if you go to the IMDb for We Have a Ghost and you see that it says based on Ernest by Geoff Mano, you can't click on Ernest. You can't click on that at all. You almost have no chance of kind of seeing any of the information for the short story or anything the story is actually in. So I don't know if you could actually find the short story to read. The short story is only like 5 years old, but the author isn't known enough to kind of even have his own IMDb page, because his name isn't highlighted to click either. So it's interesting that we're going also into this realm where they're starting to do more short story things. Now, I feel like that kind of teeters off of when they started doing short film adaptations. Like, there's a film that came out, I think in 2011, called Mama, which is based on a short film also called Mama, that they decided to sit there and go, okay, this deserves a full-length film. So not only are we doing, adaptations, but we're also trying to take from a shorter form of this and make it into a bigger, more grand scale film in that respect. Would this be something to watch more than once? Unless you're with somebody who hasn't seen it. I don't know what it is this year, but I'm really falling short on movies that are grabbing me. And it's probably also the fact that I'm also getting into a lot more TV shows, and I'm watching a lot of those. I'm trying to keep up with The Last of Us, which I'm going to be doing an entry on once it ends. I'm watching this other show that's, I think it's like an NBC show. It's called New Amsterdam. That's got 5 seasons and it just ended, so I'm kind of sort of speed watching that. So maybe when I stop and I do give a movie a chance, I'm expecting it to sort of wow me because I'm not really doing a lot of movie watching. It's either this or I'm going to the theater to watch something. And when I'm sitting at home watching like a premiere, like what We Have a Ghost essentially is to me, because it only came out like a couple of weeks ago, it's harder for me to sit and say, okay, this was worth the time that I took away from watching something else. Again, worth maybe getting somebody else to watch, but I'm sorry, Casper Meets the Ring just isn't hitting it for me. And I don't think I'm the only one that is kind of giving it that mid-tier kind of like level of where it sits. Definitely not the best David Harbour movie, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, but you're only going to really want to watch it once and maybe you'll enjoy it. I don't see anybody like really giving this too much of a big deal. Like, it's not going to win any awards in my eyes. I'm just saying.